We are streaming live.
Are you on,
Right.
Charleston?
Okay, so we're live, so it's
Okay.
6:30, I'm assuming, correct? So Heidi, will you call the meeting to order? Or I'm sorry,
Heidi?
Gwen.
Happy
No.
You call the meeting to order, but I'll call the roll.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
to order. Go ahead, Gwen,
Yeah.
call the roll.
Yeah.
So Riddle,
Here.
Corrigan,
Here.
Summer,
Here.
Strauss,
Here.
Miklos.
Here.
Okay, everybody's here.
Did everyone have a chance to review the minutes from last month?
Yes.
Does anyone have any changes or proposed changes or corrections to the minutes?
No.
Okay, seeing none, then I'd like to make a motion that we approve last month's meetings or last month's minutes as submitted. And Gwen, if you could, or well, if someone could second that.
I'll second.
Okay, Corrigan,
Yes.
Miklos,
Yes.
Summer,
Yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Riddle.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Moving on, I don't believe we had any outside correspondence this month. So with that being said, we'll just move right into the operations report and the financial review. Bill?
All right, so the finance department has not closed April yet. So the only financials that are available from them are the ones we had in the last meeting. And just quickly to recap it, we started out at the beginning of the year with a carryover in the operating account of $19,460. And at the end of the period, we had an unencumbered balance of like $20,495. Again, the operating account. And the 411 capital account, we started out with $20,946, had some minor expenses. So unencumbered at the end of the month was $19,946. As I said, they didn't have the month closed, so we'll rely on our in-house revenue recap, and that'll be very accurate anyways. So the sheet I'll start with, if you can, well, I get, never mind. Anyways, just to recap where we are with our leases, from a Clarion standpoint, which includes waterworks, the police boat, we've collected everything but $3,270 or $3,275. The components of that are the $1,500 for the police boat.
Hold on 1 minute. Dr. Dave, I'm going to mute Todd Summer. I'm getting a lot of the wind noise and I'm not able to hear. So Todd, when you need to speak, just raise your hand, okay? Okay, that helps me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Again, I'm giving you a recap of our lease amounts. The Clarion and Waterworks combined, we still have outstanding $3,275. That breaks down into $1,500 for the police boat, but it's still early. They don't have their grant yet, so we won't collect that until they do get it. And the balance is $1,775, and that is a lease at Clarion. And we've got a commitment that that will be paid, but the gentleman happens to be out of state and won't be back for a while yet, but it's committed, so I'm not worried about it. As far as Riverside goes, we did get an additional payment from Mr. Coyle, excuse me. So he's all right on one lot, and the lot's 29. So the ones he defaulted on, and he's well aware of it, are lots 30 and 35. So at some point, I'm going to review them closer to see what we have down there as far as features, amenities, whatever, if there are any. And then I'm going to offer all of these out to the general public to see if we can get anybody else that would want to pick up on them.
Bill, can I just confirm you said lot 29, you did get a payment, 30 and 35 are in default.
That is correct.
Okay. Make sure.
So the next sheet is our final cash position. And there really wasn't much activity other than at South Street as far as the docks go. There was no additional income at Waterworks, no additional income at McGarvey's Landing. But we did have a fairly good month, month to date at South Street. So as I said before, we had at the end of April, well, let me just say, right now, our cash or our revenue that we've collected, actually it's year to date. So this includes some revenue that was put into the bank. So we're at 56,339.77 as far as revenue goes. That includes a $10,000 donation, and the donation came from Lake Erie Electric or the Lorraine Community Foundation. Thank you. And the other, we did get a response from when Weber. We asked for 10, but they, so that was also deposited. So of the total 29,000 that we picked up since our last reporting, 15 of it went into the 411 capital account, and then the balance goes into our operating account. And just a note, and I don't know, somebody might dispute this, but on May 2nd, 2 Saturdays ago, we set a record. Between two of us, we launched 132 vessels on that Saturday. So we took in over $1,000 that day. It was amazing. So the following Sunday, we took in a standard like $600 or $700. We really thought we had it going there, but then the weather changed. The bottom fell out. It's really been kind of poor since then. We're hoping tomorrow and Saturday are going to pick up, though. The weather doesn't look real good, but we think we'll do okay. The other report I did, and as I said, we didn't do anything at Waterworks or McGarvey's, so I did the comparison between the 3-year comparison, 17, 18, and 19 to the current 2020. And if I sent you out the sheet, if you look at the recap down at the bottom, we set a record again in April for South Street. So we took in $3,024, and the average 3-year average was 25.48. So we were up like almost 19%, and we're up 17% from 2019. So it's all about the fish. If the fishing remains good, we might have a very successful South Street, which is really going to help. So, and anyways, if you compare all of these items between the ramp, Waterworks, and McGarvey's between 19 and 20, we're up about 4%. Actually, that's the only financials we have, but that still does give you a good picture as far as revenue goes. We'll pick up expenses when they close April.
Randy, you have a comment? Bill, hold on 1 minute. Randy has a comment.
Sure.
I have a question, Bill. I know that you had a return a deposit for the Waterworks. Is that not shown here? That's already gone.
When you
You
say
told me you
return,
had one deposit for Waterworks that you had to give. They asked for the money back.
no, I did not. I didn't have to give anything back in deposits.
Okay.
Yeah, we took in 2 deposits. I think one was $750 for Cleveland Yacht Club, and I think we took in $250 maybe. Okay, yeah, and no, I haven't had any cancellation that caused me to return deposits yet.
Good.
And as far as cancellations go, I have not had any additional cancellations. We are now, as soon as we get a reservation, we give them a full disclosure. We tell them what's not open, meaning we do not have restrooms, we do not have showers, but we do provide the all other amenities. It has not stopped anybody so far. So that's encouraging. Anybody else on financials? Okay, so anyways, I also sent you out a activity report. And one component of that report was under all other, there was a recap of where we stand in the capital account. So with the additional 15 grand that we picked up this past period, our capital account should be sitting on almost $35,000, be 34,946.22. So we're quickly approaching what we need for the restroom, although I'm not sure with the balance of the year if there are going to be any capital expenditures that we might have to tap some of that. Anybody have anything about any of the activity list? Any questions?
Again, yeah. The money, the one, and I was looking at your notes. You did have, we were asking for the one fund to be extended for another year. Did we get that?
I did send the notification into the Erie County Foundation. I have not received a response yet. But that went in quite a while ago.
And that had to be spent by what, June?
No, not June. I think we had it until like August or September of this year.
Okay. And that's what I think you need to keep a close eye on. We'd hate
Oh,
to,
yeah, for sure. I will.
if we have to
I'll follow
find a way to, if we have to find a start way to dig in a hole to spend their money, you know, we may have to do some kind of a fast start if it's that important that we use the funds. I'd hate to lose those funds.
Yeah, well, I was going to make a suggestion in general anyways, that, and it would be, say, if you and I get together and we look at the plans and, you know, what is going to be done for that remodeling process, a good place to start, since the restrooms are closed at South Street, might to be to start refurbishing the existing bathroom there, because that's going to be upgraded anyways. There are things in there like the pump out system that we can take out, the old cabinet. We wanted to upgrade the commode. We want to change the sink height. And if, you know, if it's possible, you know, that the drains, the floor drains and all that stuff is properly set, maybe we can move, you know, on that part of the project. If,
Right.
you know, if we have to.
I would suggest once we start, we might as well complete it. But those fundings would be a big issue. If that happened, we would need to go forward to at least start spending that then. I mean, now.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. We
My
can
opinion.
start spending some money. Yes, even if it's securing materials.
The other question, our bathrooms aren't open yet, and I understand that, and that's probably the mayor's call in the city of Vermilion.
Actually, it's, I don't want to speak for the mayor. The mayor has actually, you know, given me the instruction, and I work with the Erie County Health Department is the one that's actually making the call.
Okay,
And
because all the Lorraine County metro parks opened up all their restrooms 2 weeks ago.
well, we
Yeah,
can
sure.
open them, but the only thing is, the requirement is that there be an attendant that sanitizes after each use.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see,
Mr.
who am I
Mayor.
talking to here?
Randy,
Randy? Randy, yeah, the guidance is that we have to sanitize the units between each use. So it's almost like the old days where you have a guy in the restroom, you know, you give him a buck and he hands you a towel or something like that. But I don't know how you want to handle it for the ports. We just opened the ones downtown today, the comfort station. And we're just doing the best we can with a spray canister and some defense soap spray stuff. That's what I'm telling them, is we're just doing the best we can. And, you know, they could come in and bust you, but I'm thinking they have other things to do.
They are around, by the way. We happen to be working down at McGarvey's Landing when we were cleaning off the fish the other day, and the Erie County Health Department spent quite a bit of time, I mean, over an hour at McGarvey's Landing. And the agent was walking around with the new manager and, you know, checking out outside, and then he was inside at least for an hour. So they're out and about, but I don't know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, they went through all of the open units downtown, all of the open businesses. And they're letting you know they're there.
Well, with what you're doing at the downtown one, maybe there is something, then we can maybe move forward and do something similar here.
Yeah, like I said, I think we're up for going in there twice a day and spraying it down and wiping it down. I don't know how long we can keep that up. That's getting pretty expensive.
Yeah, that was my concern. And maybe
Yeah.
we just keep it open while we're here attending to, this facility to begin with. If we leave, we just shut it down. Most of the businesses earlier in the day anyways. And that's all I have.
Any other highlights from your activity report, or nothing that you need to discuss?
Well, the one thing I am checking, and I'm going to check it again tonight, was the status of the washrooms at Waterworks. When we started setting up and de-winterizing that facility, we noticed there was further deterioration in the utility room on the men's side. So we weren't sure whether or not it was just a fault in the roof that was, just plain leakage where the shingles had failed, or whether or not it was the product of like an ice buildup during the winter. Because that where that stain is in the washroom is exactly where the downspout comes down and joins the other downspout. So I was planning, since we had a nice, good, healthy rain today, I was going to go over there and check it to see if there's any further, water in there. So that would give us an indicator. If there is, the plan again is we're successful in patching where the ladies' room was. There's no indication that water's coming in there. I think we'll do the same thing in that area where it is over the utility room. Other than that, everything's moving smooth. We got the new long dock north is completed as of today. It's been repaired, it's been painted, it's been undercoated. As a matter of fact, we painted and undercoated the other dock while we were at it, since we had the materials. We had a crew out, so we even got that one done. So that's ready to go in. The only dock that's not in at Waterworks is 1-2, and the only reason that's not in is because of the water depth. 1-2 is located in the handicapped area, and that's like a foot lower than the balance of the other docks. So all of the attachment brackets are really underwater. But we almost thought they might be able to do it like today, but then the weather changed and he didn't do it. So we're close, but we don't have anybody coming in until the 17th of June is our first reservation. So again, the priorities are all about opening and making sure that any kind of commitments we have to leases or whatever, that all those facilities are ready. And so far we're ready.
You have a good labor plan that you're managing with the current state?
Yeah, as of right now, between the beginning of the year and now, I've only used 94 hours. And that includes all the projects, the winterization, change, building the new ramp, doing those dock coatings and everything else. It's kind of hear it and echo around here. I'm not using hardly any man hours at all.
Good. It looks like you're doing a good job. All of the safety measures you put in place down there, and with the sanitizer and the screens and everything. I mean, it seems like you're on top of it, and you're doing, a really excellent job managing the quote
Hopefully,
unquote
yeah.
new normal. Okay, well, let's keep moving here. We'll move on to old/new business. We kind of already discussed the grant updates. Do we want to expand any more on the restroom project? I know we were still looking for a potential architect to approve our plans. Have we made any further headway with that, Randy or Peter?
All I know is that we have some funding there. Tom Bodie again is standing by if we want to go with the enhanced roof design. And he would probably help out, but he's not supposed to just stamp drawings without preparing them himself. And that's his issue.
Okay.
So if we're gonna proceed with the current plan, then we're gonna have to find somebody to stamp those drawings. If we're gonna try to raise a little bit more money and enhance the thing to be more architecturally pleasing, if that's what the group wants, then he would probably like to be involved.
Is that the only option for the enhanced roof design? I mean, is there?
No,
Is there?
no, but he, remember, he was doing that without getting paid. He just said,
Right.
I'll give you an idea. So we could shoot him some ideas and he would be more than happy to, but again, he's only gonna do so much without having some sort of compensation.
Which is understandable.
Yeah.
Randy, do you have anybody else that you work with that may be able to do something with our current drawings if we don't want to move forward with the enhanced roof design? You have to unmute yourself.
It would be nothing to expand the roof if you want a higher roof pitch on it. We would have to then redo the old restroom and build over top of what is there, which is going to be an additional cost. That's up to all of you. But as far as that go, I believe I did have $1,000 in for an architect to take a look at our drawings, put them on his own paper and put a stamp on it so we could get a permit.
Do you work with someone who could potentially do that for us?
I think so.
I mean, where do we stand? I mean, as a board on doing an enhanced design, or do we want to hold back? I mean, we have to probably make a decision here, sooner rather than later, so we can, I mean, especially with the funds there, and if we're on a deadline to get the project started so we can, utilize these grants. I mean, my personal opinion is I would be for an enhanced design, obviously if it was cost effective enough, but I'm not necessarily liking the one that was already thrown out there. So if we could do something else without spending a whole ton of money, I would be definitely amenable to it personally, but I understand the constraints that we have financially as well.
I would be more than happy to go to Tom and have him give us a price for maybe coming up with a different type roof design and get that information to everybody, if that's what we'd like to do.
I think that's a better
he
idea than stealing a design and having somebody else take it and give them $1,000. If that's what you were kind of referring to, Randy.
Well, we have to have, it has to be an architect or an engineer. It has to seal the drawings for any
No, I
type
know.
of commercial
I
work.
understand that, but I don't like taking somebody else's work and then paying another person to copy the work. I just think that's not right, but that's my own opinion.
That
The work
my
was
idea.
done by Randy.
Yeah,
The
I did
work
that.
was done by Randy.
We're talking about the work that Tom did. Sorry, Randy.
Todd, what's your opinion?
Man, mute him.
If Peter can find I'd like to see if we can find another architect. If Randy's got one. I don't want to put any burden on, Tom Bodie. If he's reluctant of doing the job.
What about your opinion on an enhanced roof? Or are you good with what has been?
I'm good with anything. Anything that's going to be down there is better than what we've got right now. So whatever we come up with, let's go with it and get it done.
Randy, so you think that you might have someone if we can?
Well, I will check. I'll get a hold of and see what's going to cost and what's going to have to happen. The roof that I had was just an extension of the I believe it's a 412 pitch roof, not very steep. I mean, if you want to go more, then, you know, I had figured to re-shingle that entire building, but I never had figured to then to tear off the existing roof and then build another one over top. So I mean, it's up to you guys what you want to do with that. And I was just trying to, we were just trying at the time to expand to a bathroom, get more restroom facilities down there. And then Bill was talking about maybe changing some of the fixtures in the existing building and things like that, which certainly aren't in our budgets either. So it depends what he's got in mind to do in that existing section, how much money we're going to spend.
Sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I was reading on this activity report. Well, that's what I hate about these Zoom meetings. Well, I think that we need, I mean, we've talked about it enough. If we can get the thing going, and the enhanced design is probably going to cost significantly more estimate wise, Randy, would you say?
Not really. I mean, it's, if you guys want to put a steeper pitch roof on, it's just drawn. I just got to change a couple lines and then have somebody that can stamp the drawings, probably redraw it on their own paper and put
Right.
it that way. I don't believe there's a lot more to it.
Well, what do we want to do? I mean, Todd seems like he's ready to go with how we have it. Randy, what's your initial thought right now? I mean, you want to go with how we have it, or would you want to entertain some more design work?
I don't know. My thought was it's a bathroom. I don't know how it's down in the valley where, you know, the only people who see it are the people that are going to use it that are going in and out of boats. If we were downtown where the comfort station is, I would think it'd be really important to do something that was possibly more architecturally enhanced than where we're at. I think it's more of what's going to be the best use, just trying to get our biggest bang for the buck to get a bathroom down there. So that was just my thoughts. And I'm certainly open if somebody wants to do something. I'm a little concerned with the one edge of it. We have to make sure trailers aren't going to rip off the roof design that was redone. We have to watch because we're going to have to cut it back. I can't explain it, I don't hear, but it's not where the trailers.
Right. No, I know where you're talking.
Yeah. So, and I haven't looked at the drawings that hard myself in a few months because we've been just sitting with it.
So and Peter, I am pretty sure I know where you stand. Heidi, you stand. Can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Unmuted. I don't, something must be wrong.
Uh-oh, she just,
I'd like to have an enhanced, would I like to have an enhanced roof and pitch? Sure, but I think I'm going with Randy at this point it's at the ramp.
okay. Well, then I think that we have a consensus then. I think then we should try to move forward with trying to find someone else then that can take our existing design and certify it so we can get the project started.
I'll move forward with that.
Okay. Any other discussion about the restroom or any other miscellaneous items that anyone has to bring before the board?
One thing I didn't mention, but you might have seen in my recap of grants, we were looking to get that one grant for cameras.
Yeah.
I reviewed that with Eileen Buellen because I ended up with a 30-page instruction sheet to fill out the application. Once I got that 30-pager and I was reading through it, that particular grant required an upfront commitment to matching funds. So I did not proceed on that.
What about the other grant that you were discussing was the ODNR and the parking lot, and the 20, was that 25% that we had to front, or is that they would be?
It just happened to be another one well, no, that one was the one that was competing with the city. We
Okay.
backed off of that because the Main Street project was the other submission, which we didn't know at the time. So we backed off of that. Right now, the only ones I could find as far as grants go, all required commitments at the time of application. And that was the thing that kind of scared me off. The only grant I have open now that I'm still waiting for response is the trash grant, if you call it that, which is providing for, clean waters of Lake Erie. Therefore, they're enhancing all of the trash receptacles and all of that kind of thing. And that one is still out. I haven't received anything from that.
You also had an expense report that we need to reimburse. My
Yeah.
other computer just shut off. Can you recap that for me?
Okay. It's not that our computer,
No,
our
my computer that I'm looking at that would shut off, so I don't have the expenses in front of me.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Anyways, there were two items in the expense. One was for a modest printer, a Brother printer, and we needed something that could not only print, but oh God, what's the word?
Scan.
Scan. Thank you, because I do a lot of communications with finance now, and it requires scanning. Our printer is like 25 years old. The auto feeds, all the scanning, it just doesn't work anymore. So for like $90, and I ran it through finance, I ran it through tech to make sure that what we got was compatible. So this new printer actually is on the network. So, finance can send things to our printer and vice versa. So that worked out really well. The other one was from the freight store, and it was just getting grinding wheels and supplies to refurbish those tanks. So that was the whole thing between those two things.
What was the total amount?
$121.91.
I'd like to entertain a motion that we approve Bill's expenses for reimbursement.
So moved. Second.
And Gwen, if you could call the roll.
Corrigan,
Yes.
Miklos,
Yes.
Summer. Raise your hand.
He
Get
said
around me.
yes.
Strauss,
Yes.
Riddle.
Yes.
Carried.
It looks like we have our next meeting set for June 11th at 6:30. I'm assuming that will be a Zoom meeting until we're told otherwise. Does that work for everyone?
Then the July, do you want to go over that one? Just kind of get ahead of the game a little bit?
Yeah, we can. Let's talk about June. Anyone have conflict with June?
No,
The other issue that we have is July. The meeting is scheduled for the 10th,
9.
the 9th. Gwen has a conflict with that, correct?
Yes, I'll be on vacation that whole week. So there's 5 Thursdays in July. It's right after the 4th. So I thought if we could push it maybe to July 16th, the 3rd Thursday. Is everybody available then?
I mean, that's a
That's
third
it.
Thursday. Are we
That's
having
Thursday. Yeah, I
third
don't know.
Thursdays?
Or Fish Festival.
Well, it's a matter of, we're going month by month, guys.
Well, do you want to tentatively put it on July 16th? Or do you want to move it to the 23rd?
23rd.
23rd?
23rd.
July 23.
We
Yeah,
need to meet before that for anything special. We can maybe fit a Zoom in or something.
Okay.
yeah, just in case any of you guys want to know, in case your boats fly into them or something. I mean, I can't see how we're going to put on a fish festival, no matter what you read in the photo journal. And third Thursdays are going month by month. That's just how the summer is going. We unfortunately had to cancel Memorial Day parades. I mean, it's just really a sad state of affairs. But yeah, Sandy Coast kind of hanging on with the fish festival. But I've just finally had to say it's time to cut bait. We just, there's no way we can do it. I've checked with the governor's office and everything. There's no permission coming down the pipe that would allow it. So But it's kind of the way the summer's going, unfortunately. You guys are the highlight with your boats.
Yeah.
And speaking of us being the highlight, we still have not set a date for the duck race. And according to the Army Corps and the reports we're hearing, we just might get some use out of McGarvey's later on this season, but that's still hanging out. We don't have a date yet.
What month is that again?
September.
Oh,
Last year it was September 8th.
We typically do it the week, I believe it's the Sunday after the
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
yeah. Before you guys get ready to print tickets or anything like that, just check in and we'll see where we are with the governor.
Yeah.
I'm hoping this stuff is gone by then. You know?
It would be nice if by next month, maybe we could make a decision because we do try to get them out kind of early. But
We'll take a read right before your meeting and see where we are.
okay, thank you.
The last time we talked, we spoke, I wrote it down as, I don't know why I wrote it down, September 13th would that be something we discussed?
That's what I have in my book too.
Yeah, well, I had to.
Is that the first Sunday after Labor Day?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
That would be my vote as well.
Okay, I won't print tickets, but I'll put it in as that's our tentative date for now, and we'll just reapprove at the next meeting.
Yeah, I talk to the health department about 3 times a day, so I should know something by then.
I hope you get clearer instructions for them than I do.
It's
They're tough.
it's nothing that moves us forward, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
September 13th is also Grandparents' Day. Maybe something we can put together if we could do it, that we could put that in with it.
We also talked about maybe moving it to an earlier start time, which I would definitely vote for as well.
We talked about that at the end of last year to move it up a little bit. I would vote for that also.
So maybe we could pick a tentative time. What are we thinking? 4:30, 5 o'clock?
Right now it's in my calendar as 5 PM. So we must have talked about it. What time was it before?
It was 6:30,
6 o'clock, yeah,
Oh.
6 or 6:30, yeah.
yeah.
If we were on time.
Yeah.
We'll be on time.
We will.
4:30.
4:30?
Sounds good.
Okay. Anyone have anything else?
Well, I have just one thing. If would we even consider putting in any sort of planking for docks at McGarvey's with a reduced rate in docking with no electricity? Or is there absolutely no money for that?
It was pretty cost prohibitive when we looked at that last year. Bill and his crew came up with, we had 5 different proposals on different options to do, and they all were quite cost prohibitive.
I've got plenty of cement blocks that if anybody needs them.
I mean, it's just something that it's a shame that we can't utilize that area. And I was looking at, I don't know how much the boat club spent on putting in a dock, a walkway. They don't cover the whole dock, but there's, you could have a narrower dockway and then have ramps going to the walkway. And I don't know. I don't know how much it costs, Bill.
Did you see the boat club's new walkway?
Yes,
Oh, okay. Is that what you said?
that's what I said.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that part. I mean, it's beautiful. And I can actually talk to them, see if I can get some numbers out of them.
Talk to Brian. Yeah, talk to Brian.
Frank?
Well,
Yeah, there's another issue there. McGarvey's got, the parking lot's got 10 feet of water and mud in it. You can put a ramp next to the dock, but the access of coming from the parking lot or going to the parking lot that was raised as an issue last year. So you can put a narrow walkway along the river, but then getting off there, you're going to be stepping in water and mud if in fact.
Well, what
Something.
what I'm talking about is a ramp to the walkway, a couple ramps to the walkway.
Okay.
Then you wouldn't have to fill in the entire dock with a huge wide walkway. Just inquiring.
I will check.
Randy, you had something else too.
I was just asking, I know we had talked about the permits or the application for grants for the river dredging. And I know that has to be turned in by the 1st. Is that something we're gonna work on then next year, Bill, or what?
I put it on hold only because of just, I was running out of time. Yes, we have to start, and I think I mentioned the last time, somewhere along the line, the board has to vote to fund the pre-dredging expenses, the testing, the water samples, all of that kind of stuff. I'll put it together now that, you know, we've moved past opening this place up.
I mean, one day I'm assuming the river will actually go back down and then we won't have any water.
Well, as I indicated in the activity report, I've had a couple people say that they're going out by the break wall on the west side, and they've got their depth finders, and they're saying they're getting indications that it's building up on the northwest end of the break wall. Also, the famous, I don't remember the guy's name that owns the house, but across from the waterworks, that little area there, that's also building up.
The Disbro Show.
Bro, yeah,
Disbro.
Disbro.
Thank you. I could not pull that name out.
Peter, and you guys remember several years ago, didn't on the west side of the pier, we had to put some buoys there where it did shallow up on that west entrance.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody say
We
it.
did put some.
Yeah, it hasn't impeded traffic. It's just an acknowledgement that they said, hey, that thing looks like it's getting shallower.
Hmm.
Don't have any actual numbers.
In the past, as I recall, it was sailboaters that first told us about it when they got their keel stuck in the mud.
Right.
Not funny. Who's in, okay, just for my information, there's a big tree that's been stuck in between the outer break wall and the inner piers. Are we to report those, or who takes care of that? Who takes care of making sure that disappears?
Mother
Guys.
Nature.
Well, it's been there a while. I just didn't want anybody to hit it. It's kind of submerged and sticks out occasionally. I didn't know if we're what our part is on that.
Where's it
Nothing?
at again, Heidi?
It's in between, it's on the east end of the outer
East.
break wall.
East End. It's been there
Yeah.
for a while, like you're saying.
It's been there a while. I just didn't want anybody to be hurt. And I didn't know if that's something that we report or who takes care of something like that. I don't
Well, for
know.
a couple, we were in the logging business. And we used to send a crew out to get logs.
That were in the river. The
In the
last
river.
conclusion you,
This is outside the river.
yeah,
It's at the
last
mouth.
time you guys instructed me that the only thing I was to use or was to deal with was anything that was impeding traffic on the river or was eminently going to damage something. So that's kind of the way I've been handling it.
Okay, it was just a question. I didn't know whose jurisdiction that would be. I know where it is. I hope everybody else does.
Anyone have anything else to come before the board? Seeing nothing, I would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I guess that,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Bye,
All right.
everybody.
We'll see
Bye.
you next time.
Bye.
Take
Charles,
care.
take
Stay
Okay,
safe.
bye.
Sure, you leave meetings since we're live streaming.
Hi, Todd.
Are you done with the meeting?
Hey, Glenn,
Where are you at these days?
You lost her.
Who are you?
all right.
Hey,
Right.
I'm in Charleston right now, and believe it or not, the marina that we're at, this trip that we're supposed to be doing in June is only about a block away. I'm gonna, right after this meeting, go over and meet with the caretaker that's there. I will just let you know, Molly talked to her on Monday, and everything is still a go. Things are opening up here in Charleston, where last night we ate in a restaurant, and there were people in there. It's just that the tables were, basically spread out. But it seems like South Carolina is opening up more and more as the day goes on. Not seeing a lot of boat traffic, but there's still a lot of people on the water with their boats. So I'm gonna, like I said, head over there right now, see if I can meet this gal that I did all the pre-arrangements through, and talk to her, and I'll report back to you and Bill. But right now, everything is still on as planned. Everything still on with you and Dana. I know. So we'll do. Mm-hmm. Right. How's things at work? Is that like you said? Is that starting to loosen up for you? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Well, shoot, the unemployment. I mean, and I know. Why would anybody want to work today when they're making over $1,100 a week doing nothing? That's ridiculous. Mindy's doing that right now. I'm saying, I'm a little flabbergasted, but she says, Dad, she's not even looking for a job. She says, my benefits just got extended another 13 weeks. I said, oh, whoopee. You need to find a permanent job. So, but so it was. Oh, yeah. When we pulled into the marina today in Charleston, Megan's new husband happened to be on the dock, and when he saw the Bill By boat, Vermilion, Ohio, on it, we started chit chatting. And nice young man. I guess Megan got married last year, and they're residing here in Charleston. Yep. So what a small world. Yeah. Yep. So John. Okay, we'll talk to you later. All right. Bye.
That you see, what kind of bounce back are you expecting? The president's been pushing a narrative that we're going to have a big bounce in the second half of the year. Larry Kudlow has echoed that. Is that realistic based on where we are today, Congressman, or is it going to take a little bit longer than people first thought?
It could be. Here's the challenge, Scott. As you know, this is also unprecedented. And whether it was Chairman Powell or anyone else, we just simply don't know. I think if you ask the question, will our economy be better this summer? In July, August, September, my answer would be yes, it will be. How fast we rebound really depends upon, in some cases, the policy decisions Congress makes. And that's why I think we should focus not on just throwing money out of a helicopter. I think we ought to be focused on helping those jobless get back to work so that they're not permanently out of work. And if we focus there, both parties, this rebound will be strong.
I certainly hope you're right. I know everybody does about a summer snapback. Maybe the virus subsides a bit, and we can get things going. And people need help, Congressman. I mean, we've been advocates for it. I'm going to continue to do that. I hear from them every day and every night on our special report. People need help, and they need it now. They're just tired of this partisanship back and forth. I want to finish with a question, if I might, on the latest on Senator Burr. He is under investigation, as you know, for insider trading. News today that he's going to step down as the chair of the Intel Committee. Should he resign altogether?
I don't know. I would say, Scott, I haven't followed that closely other than the headline. We have been laser focused on this virus and the economy. I trust him to take the right action through this period. So I'll leave it at that right now. I think most Americans, certainly most Texans, aren't worried about Senator Burr. They're really worried about how we get back to work and how we save our small business.
Understood, but let me just follow up there. Do you think it's appropriate for any member of Congress to own any individual stocks at all? And do you personally?
Well, of course, I think it's right for all Americans to be able to invest in the stock market and build up that nest egg. I think that's smart. Congress already has a number of safeguards in place. I think that's what they are using to analyze Senator Burr's action. I know when Congress acted before, not to point fingers, we saw a number of abuses with Speaker Pelosi's accounts and her actions in this regard. I think Congress put in the right safeguards. I think all Americans ought to have an opportunity to build up their nest egg however they do it. Congress has to do it with a higher level of accountability.
Well, I mean, there's an obvious difference in owning, mutual funds and ETFs as I'm only allowed to do for obvious reasons around potential conflicts of interest. We don't want that. Why should it be any different for Congress? I mean, there's a difference between investing and owning either individual stocks or funds.
Sure. The law, Congress's law that we passed prohibits us from using insider information to make those trades. We're very highly, we're pretty basic. I'll just tell you, we're pretty basic. And we have retirement, we have a bunch of mutual funds. We let our dollars ride through this market. I'm pretty confident about where it will go in the long term. But I think Congress has adequate safeguards. Let's continue to apply them. I think that's the smart way to do it.
Congressman, I wish you well. I hope you stay well. We'll talk to you again soon.
which manages 8 airports across the country, or may welcome, including, we should say, private airports and commercial airports like Westchester County Airport. So how are you thinking about what the future looks like?
Yeah, I think we're in the age of accelerated innovation. Over the long term, we're going to be seeing a lot more autonomous vehicles and equipment, more people disinfecting portals, remote operations and control towers. I think over the medium term, we're going to be seeing more redesigned security checkpoints, integrated health checkpoints, as well as thermal scanners. In the short term, I think people can expect the same measures that we're seeing at the grocery stores, including hopefully there'll be less wait times and touchless interactions. We're going to have to define also the current experiences that people start to manage the flow inside the company.
I mean, you're laying out a lot there. You know, in the post 9/11 period, it's hard to think of something that changed more than travel. We had TSA, made us feel a lot safer. Do you think that we are in store for even more drastic changes permanently as a result of COVID-19?
Absolutely, and I think those are things that as an industry we've been working very hard. Airports and airlines are evaluating dramatic changes. For now, we have to institute the same measures that we're seeing: face coverings, increased disinfection. But I think very short, you're going to see a lot of that temperature screening and touches and interactions such as voice activated kiosks and touchless bathrooms as well.
So temperature screening when you arrive at the airport?
Yeah, so right now some airports are already testing that. In Asia, more so, but in the US, at the moment, the question is more just who will hold that thermometer. It's a hot topic right now. Airlines and airports are saying that it should be the TSA or the CDC. TSA or CDC is saying that they don't want to do it. There's a lot of pressure on the TSA to do it as passengers go through the checkpoint, but that they need to be focused more on security, not on health. I think as a private operator, we're in a better position to handle that. But we're still evaluating that. We're trying to get feedback.
Economic fallout of the pandemic has hit women disproportionately hard. CNBC contributor Joanne Littman writing today that the pandemic may cause a she-cession, and that could impact diversity in the workplace for years to come. Let's bring in Joanne Littman. She is Distinguished Fellow for Journalism at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton. She's also a CNBC contributor. And Joanne, it's great to see you. Good morning.
Great to see you, Becky. Thanks for having me.
This is not just a theory. This is borne out by the numbers. Women were 55% of the people who were laid off since this all began, right?
That's right. And it's not only women as a whole. If you look at the different groups,
Yo cuando comenzó su historia no me llamaba así. Estoy pensando en el viaje. Había dado si la familia de este país está perdiendo tanto, ¿qué estamos haciendo? ¿Qué vamos a robar? La fábrica nacional de la es fundamental que no tenga ni la más mínima idea de lo que estamos haciendo. Mucho cuidado, porque en el momento en que haya una sola gota de sangre, dejaremos de ser humanos para convertirnos simplemente en posibles.
Es ahora. Confiad en nosotros y obedecer.
Las cosas se van a seguir cuando que nos vamos a dar. Mama Jew is completing a trip in Little Rock, Arkansas. He'll arrive in 4,000 minutes. Why are you turning that way, Mama Jew?
That's so many minutes. I think
لا لا انا خلاص فتش عليك. Peoples.
What is it? Ships. I saw them first on the beach. What ships? These.
We were kings at one point. Took this land, and it has been strengthened without blood. Now you are the new bearer of them, and you will die for it if needed.
Yes, father.
What kind of hell is this? If my brother falls in battle, or in must fall, if there be a spare these people that fight you.
This program contains rare film of World War II found during a 2-year worldwide search. Much of it has never been seen on television before. These films have been digitally restored to their original color in high definition. While some footage is used in a representational manner, all of the images you are about to see are real. Some images are graphic in nature, and viewer discretion is advised.
Suicide and possible devastation of our ship. there was a kid who didn't know anything. He'd never been away from the town of Mississippi. He didn't know where he was, what he was, why he was there. Was he a part of the chaos generation? Yes. Nothing great about it.